let's start from the beginning. Your mother is a prostitute, and that's fine, I'm sure she was great at her job, but she was a terrible mother. For 8 months, she had no idea she was pregnant. And again, I don't want to judge. That shit happens to the best of us. But she was probably eating horribly. Look at that alcoholic beverage in her hand. Her mind was not there. She did not live in reality. And she looks kind of raggedy. And when she gives birth to you and your twin, she dies in the middle of it. Thanks, Mom. And now you and your brother are alone with an alcoholic corpse beside you. And what do? You're hungry. You're naked. So you reach out to your mother and take any sort of nutrients you can. And unknowingly, you end up taking her crook. People act like taking crooks is so evil. But you're just trying to survive. You're not a monster, I say. You're just a baby. And as this happens, rats that are bigger than the size of your head are trying to come eat you and your brother. Like, my nigga, why? When have you ever heard of a rat eating a human being? That is not their diet. But luckily, you might be Moses, because the river sweeps you and your brother up and takes you away. And so now, the two of you are malnourished and broke, and worst of all, you live in the hood. And you are growing up in a time where meta abilities are becoming known and widespread. And this is causing a lot of X-Men shit, with a lot of discrimination and chaos. And you're just here, growing up in the hood with your younger brother, nobody giving a fuck about you. Niggas ain't turning around to look at you when you're crying and screaming. Nigga, you a child, and nobody's trying to help you out. They just finna let you starve in the streets? Go to sleep in fucking alleyways and wake up with anything you got the previous day gone? Stolen? Like, what the fuck? And so when you humbly ask a nigga for help and they don't give it to you, I'm not gonna lie, you kill him. You steal their shit. Do you want to? No, of course not. But you gotta survive, right? You got a younger brother, he gotta survive, right? Niggas act like killing is such a big deal, but look inside. Look inside yourself. We kill ourselves every day. Fast food, drinking, smoking, sedentary lifestyles. Niggas only care about life when life no longer cares about them. You're just bringing this realization to the forefront. You're helping niggas to appreciate life. You're not a monster, I say. You're just a child. And as you try to put on for the Shigaraki name, try to survive with the absolute nothing that your prostitute of a mother gave you, your brother has the audacity to throw a piece of metal at you and tell you to stop. Like, motherfucker, what? Nigga, is you stupid? Your brother's trying to stop you from putting food on the table, so you gotta kick him down a little bit. Put him in his place. Remind him that he's useless and weak and he smells awful and he provides quite literally nothing to your relationship or to the family. But you remind him that you love him even so and that you'll keep him close. That's your duty as the older brother. This is what you're supposed to do. Then one day, this illiterate ass nigga decides to read a book. And it's not even a real book. There's drawings and speech bubbles, and it's about this hero named Captain Hero. What's next? A villain named Dr. Evil? Your brother's like, oh my god, I want to be just like Captain Hero and have my identity from the huts and be all alone and broken on the streets like my mama. And you're not really fucking with Captain Hero, but there's a character called the Demon Lord who has crazy sauce and gets booty and gets paper, and you look up to him. And you start reading the series with your brother, having some bonding time, being the good big bro you are. And time passes, and you realize you have the ability to take crooks from other people and use them as your own. And many niggas would go crazy with this power. Try to become like a god or something. But you take inspiration from the Demon Lord. And what you do with this power is unify the community. Help people who believe themselves plagued and a disease to society. Sure, you have to get your hands dirty a little now and then. But you're not a monster, I say. You're Malcolm X. And guess what? You even give a crook to your brother. That good-for-nothing, crookless bitch. You bedazzle him with some nice shit. Tell him that you still got a nigga even on the come-up. But does he appreciate it? No. He tries to kill you. Says you evil and shit. You gotta be put down like a mama and shit. And you like, oh, so that's how you finna play it, huh? Finna do some little role play as Captain Hero and the Demon Lord projects on you. I love role play. Motherfucker, I breathe it. So y'all do some role play. And he ends up dying. Damn. That sucks. But the grind never stops, and you stand on business, and you continue doing what you do because that's what your brother would want. A man who has values, principles, integrity. And you go and you take down other people who keep trying to dim your shine. But then one day you think, all these ops I have, it feels like they've been passing down the same power or inherited real throughout the years. And then you realize, my brother had a crook, didn't he? This nigga is passing down his hating from generation to generation. What the fuck? You start to call this one for all, and this shit gets passed down to a nigga named All Might. And All Might is always smiling in any situation, and you think he just has the same condition as other Phlegosum. You think he won't be a threat. But that nigga different, bro. You're like the strongest nigga ever. But when All Might punches you, I'm not gonna lie to you, that shit feel like getting hit by a fucking hydrogen bomb, bro. Like it doesn't make any sense. My nigga, you have like 1,000 crooks. All this nigga has is super strength. The most basic superpower of all time. And this shit is fucking you up. How? All this nigga does is punch hard. He's a boxer with a costume on. He's an MMA fighter. I don't understand. You literally tear a piece of his stomach off of him like a piece of meat. He looks like a bitten apple. He's coughing up blood, and you think you got him, right? There's no coming back from this. You have his intestines in your hand, and you're playing with it, swinging it around like a whip. And what does this nigga do? He catches his intestines in mid-action, looks you dead in the eye, smiles, and says, I'm about to go beyond. Beyond what, nigga? Life? Nigga, we are literally holding your intestines like a jump rope. My brother, how are you speaking in perfect pitch? This nigga winds up and punches you while saying, plus ultra. And that was painful. This nigga almost kills you. You ain't got no force field powers, nigga. You ain't got a crook for dodging. All he has is super strength. And I mean, you got some good hits in, sure. All Might is never the same after that. But neither are you. And as All Might tries to do his shit, you recoup in the shadows. You meet this man named Kotaro, someone who's been neglected by heroes, abused by society. And being the good man you are, you help him out. You inspire him to have a son, some love in his life. But it turns out this nigga is a really bad father, very abusive and toxic. And so one day, you pull up to the house and see that everyone is dead, or rather killed by the son. And I mean, you can't blame the son, because his father was some big booty. So you take him in, raise him up, and he becomes your successor. Good shit, Awful One. You're not a monster, I say. You're the dad that stepped up. And this is all before the actual story of My Hero Academia. It sets the stage for what will happen, the decisions that you make to better society, and the selfish intentions All Might tries to pass off as heroism. You ain't do nothing wrong, Awful One. And I'm gonna explain more in the second part. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Peace.